pop up now? Yeah. Hi, I'm Em, and this is the Ewe Up vlog. Hello, welcome or welcome back. I'm Em, a knitter and pattern designer living in British Columbia, Canada. This is my cozy little corner of the internet where I talk all things knitting, fibercraft, wool loving, kind of whatever's on my mind, usually just knitting. Today I am coming in with a really short stash acquisition video. I recently went with my partner to Knit City, Vancouver, which was right at the end of September. And although my time was cut short by one of the worst migraines I have had in a long time, like it knocked me out for like 7 hours. Hello. Although my time was cut short, I did manage to get a few goodies, a little haul, and I know what you're thinking. Em, we just watched you reorganize an entire cabinet full of yarn you do not need anymore. True. However, fiber festivals are a great chance to try new dyers from places that are maybe too expensive to order online, or try new bases, and also to meet and get to know other creatives in your part of the world. So I'm not gonna go to a fiber fest and not buy anything, but I am pretty proud I did a pretty decent job of minimizing my yarn stash. So I figured I'd take you through that. I unfortunately don't have a ton of photos or videos because, again, my time was cut short. So to make up for it, I'm gonna walk you through all of the yarn that I did buy. I have it all sitting in this cute little tote bag from Black Sheep Books on Salt Spring Island, because of course I'm gonna buy a bag like this. It combines two of my favorite things, duh. So I'm just gonna pull them out of here and walk you through. I think these are more or less in chronological order of like when I purchased them. So we went to the Yarn Fest with a few very specific goals, and then also an allowance for something that caught my eye. And we were looking for 2 skeins of DK weight yarn in a really bright, fun color. We hadn't decided yet if it was going to be blue or green or pink or red or something like a neon magenta or something like that. We just knew that we wanted, my partner and I wanted something really bright for the project we had in mind. And we were working together on them. We found 2 beautiful skeins of bright pink yarn, and I was like, okay, well, even if it doesn't end up getting used for this project we have in mind, I love pink, so this will get put to use. So bought it as kind of a backup. Here it is, 2 skeins of Cottonwood Decay by Fireweed Fiber Co. It's this beautiful bright bubblegum with hot pink, red, and purple speckles. And if you know me, you know I love a hand-dyed speckle. I love it, I can't get enough. And this is in the color Chapter 33. Now, we were speaking to the dyer's husband as he rung us up, and he said that every year they make a birthday colorway for his wife, and this was her 33rd birthday colorway, hence the name Chapter 33. It's a 3-ply DK dyed in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and even though it ended up kind of being an unnecessary purchase, I'm really excited to have this in my stash, and I'm gonna be knitting it up into something super cute, even though it's not going to its original intended purpose. But super cute, instantly drawn to it. If you know me, you know I love pink. And actually there's a bit of pink in this haul. For someone who loves pink, I have a pretty big hole in my wardrobe where pink should be. and isn't. Part of that is just that I have outgrown the style or sizing of the pink that used to be in my wardrobe. Part of it is just I think that I'm super picky about the pink that enters my closet because I do love it so much. I want to make sure that it's something that you know, looks good on me, but also that I'm excited to wear. So I am planning on knitting a lot of pink in the next year or so. So to all of my Instagram followers, I hope you don't mind a bit of a pink overload. I'm really excited for all of the projects to come. Anyway, I'll stop talking about pink yarn and we'll move on to the next stashquisition. This is from a pretty new dyer, I believe. They're called Hamster Yarns. I think this was their first ever show. I'll bring this a little bit closer so you can see. This is a beautiful Surrey alpaca, merino, and silk? Nope, nylon blend. And this colorway is giving like early summer peach, like not quite fully ripe with dappled sunlight. You know what I mean? Like that's this vibe. And I was instantly drawn to this, but I kept putting it back on their table because I was like, this is so outside of any colors that I'm normally drawn to. Like, I can't just buy yarn on a whim like this. I should stick to my goals, stick to my list. And then like the third time that I went over and squeezed it, my partner was just like, just buy it. Clearly you're drawn to it. Clearly it would make you happy. Just buy it. So I did. I got 3, which is probably more than I need, but I just didn't want to run out and play yarn chicken. And I'm kind of thinking like it is quite bright, and nothing against brights. I mean, you guys know I like a bright, but because I'm not too sure how I'll look in the bright yellow, I was thinking of holding this with just a nice neutral cream, maybe an alpaca yarn to make a sweater. And that'll kind of mute the brightness just a bit while still letting these beautiful colors shine. So that's kind of the tentative plan. We'll see if that actually ends up happening or if I go completely off script and change my mind at a later date. Super cute. This, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have a color name, but very, very cute. I don't even know where these guys are based. Anyway, very cute, whimsical, bright, summer fuzzy peach vibes. I'm gonna take a quick break to tell you about some yarn that I don't have physically, but it is on its way. Like, I think it's actually reached my city now. So I went to the Ancient Arts Fiber, Ancient Arts Yarns, can't remember exactly, I'll put it on the screen, but I went to their booth and I was looking for the perfect bubblegum pink yarn. I'd been searching the entire marketplace for the perfect one. Everything was either too cool or too neon or too warm. I hadn't found the perfect one. And then I saw their colorway Cherry Blossoms. I saw it on a lace weight skein and I went hunting for it on a fingering weight. They only had a fingering weight with nettle in it, which I'm not against that fiber, but I was feeling the yarn and it wasn't quite as springy, like plump and elasticy as I typically like to knit with. So I inquired about it. They had sold out of Cherry Blossom on their regular Socknito fingering weight base. So they unfortunately did not have it in their booth at that moment. I was pretty sad. And then they told me that for what's it called? That for Knit City, they were offering free shipping for anybody who purchased something while at their booth. So I was able to get a sweater quantity of this beautiful yarn with free shipping, and it has almost arrived, and I'm very excited. I'm just sad that I don't have it at the time of filming to show you, but hopefully editing Emmy put a nice photo up to show you the colorway, and I'm really excited for it to arrive. Okay, now that that is out of the way, I'll show you my next physical thing. So with the fireweed skeins, again, just to give you a recap, we were searching for 2 fingering weight skeins in a really bright color. We ended up, after lots of looking around, deciding that red was the color we wanted to focus on. And I told my partner, you can run point on this. I'll let you find the color that you think is best for this project, but we're looking for super bright, punchy, in-your-face red. And he found it. Here it is. So he found this, hand-dyed by Fiber Goddess out of Calgary, Alberta. And he was like, this is one of the most classic bright reds we've come across. I love it. And then we looked at the colorway name, and I'm just gonna put it, I'll just hold it up for you guys. If you know, you know. I mean, it really couldn't be more perfect. And like Alex said, like I literally used the word punchy to describe what we were looking for. So got 2 DK skeins of that, and then Alex decided that he wanted me to knit him a pair of socks in this color because it's too perfect. And obviously agreed. I will knit that man whatever socks he wants. He loves my hand-dyed, or my, not hand-dyed. Well, they're all hand-dyed actually. But he loves my hand-knit socks. So he's one of the most knit-worthy people I know, honestly. He wears everything I make him. So obviously I'm gonna make him a nice pair of socks, and then we have the 2 skeins of DK for the very specific project that we had in mind. So couldn't have been better. We love it. Honestly, iconic. So just a few more additions to the stash, and then that brings us to the end. Next up, this is another yarn that my partner ran point on. This is by Okanagan Dye Works. It is the color Penstemon. I am not sure how to pronounce that. There it is. This is their DK base. It's a beautiful aquamarine with speckles of teal, navy, and forest green, with a little bit of peach running through it, and some nice pops of beautiful, warm, pale magenta, I guess. I don't really know. What is that color? I guess like purple lilac. This is going into our travel blanket. I've mentioned this a few times in previous videos, but I had the idea that when my partner and I travel, we pick up a skein of DK weight yarn, and once I've amassed enough, I will create like a patchworky style knit blanket with all of the tangible memories from our travels. So I'll put a photo up of all of the colors we've collected so far, including this one, so you can kind of get an idea for the vibe that we've got going on. But I love that we kind of get to collect these memories and take part in something that'll become an heirloom for sure. So this was the color he chose, and I'm excited to eventually knit it up. I have a very cute sleepy kitty here. I have one more small collection of yarn. This was a colorway that immediately got my attention when we passed by their booth, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. It's so soft. I took a photo of the label because I was like, you know what, I've spent enough money. I'm not gonna buy more yarn without like a tangible plan. I will put this away for a future purchase. And then we did a couple more laps, and I don't know if they put a sign out towards the end of the day or if I had just missed the sign, but there was a sign saying 20% off. And I was like, okay, just kidding. You're coming with me. So I grabbed 3 skeins, which is kind of a sweater quantity for me, of the yak base, which is very exciting. I've never knit with yak before, from Entre Sœurs et Laine. They're out of Quebec, I think. It doesn't say on their thing here. In the color Chocolatée. This is 70% merino, 20% yak, and 10% silk. I was just enamored with this color. It's definitely a gray, but it's got like a mauvey taupe tone to it, and I love taupe. Taupe is truly my gray of choice. And I just, combined with the softness from the yak, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. So I'm envisioning like just a really simple, classic round neck cardigan that can be worn buttoned up or unbuttoned, just to really let this color have its moment, because I think it's gonna look really good. I think this is gonna look amazing. So a nice little happenstance, 20% off of these 3 skeins, and I get to try a new dyer from across our country. So that's pretty cool. Really happy with that one. And again, that's one that I'm really excited to cast on in the future. I have some more projects planned before I will have a chance to do this, but really looking forward to it. And you need some classic colors in your wardrobe. This is one of those classic colors that I know I'm going to get a lot of wear out of. So anyway, I sound like I'm trying to convince you. I'm convinced. That's all there is to it. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this little Stashquisition video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, unfortunately, I wasn't able to spend as much time at Knit City as I would have liked, especially since Sweet Georgia, who was one of the big sponsors for the event, had set up a beautiful little lounge area with different spinning wheels and looms and spindles and like everything you could imagine to try something new. Felicia, the owner of Sweet Georgia, was actually very kind to show us how to use her dataless e-spinner, and she was so sweet. We'll definitely be watching some more School of Sweet Georgia videos here on YouTube, because my partner got to try out an e-spinner and he was obsessed, which I knew he would be, but I see more spinning in his future, and if he's okay with it, I'll pop a little video of him using that e-spinner at the Yarn Fest. This was like literally 10 minutes before we left because the pain got to be too much and I had to pass out in the car and sleep off that migraine. But anyway, even though I'm sad not to have spent longer there and met you and spoken with everybody and really explored, I am very grateful to have been able to go and pick up some goodies at the very least, support some small businesses, and there will be more Yarn Fests in the future. This is definitely not the last that I will attend. I am a big fan of the social opportunities that Yarn Festivals provide. And again, getting to try new brands that you, and dyers that you maybe never would have been introduced to before. So there will definitely be more in the future. Super short video today. I just didn't want to leave y'all hanging, and I wanted to show off the pretty yarns that I had because I'm sure they will sit in the stash for a while, because I do have an extensive stash. I know, I'm sorry, but I wanted to give them their moment to shine while they were still fresh, and before I tucked them all away within my stash and it got harder to pull them out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you've been to any fiber festivals this year, what you picked up, what you learned, what you're currently working on. Let's get a little party going for those of us that weren't able to attend or weren't able to attend as fully as they wanted to. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed, and as always, I'll have the links to everything down in the description. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll be back with a full episode soon enough, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Bye.